Hello, good morning, students. Well, students, in our previous class, we have been through mathematical formula for self-information, and this self-information is given as I is equal to log to the base 2 1 by p, where self-information is indicated with capital I and where p is the probability of the event, and depending upon this base, information unit is decided. If the base is equal to 10, then the unit is called as Hartley, and if the base is equal to 2, then the unit is bits, and if the base is epsilon, the unit for information is called as nats. So in our previous class we have been through this. Now let's solve some problem. So this is our problem statement. So here what they are trying to state in the problem statement is that we have to consider a discrete information source. So this DIS is an acronym for discrete information source, which emits four possible symbols, say S1, S2, S3, and S4. So right now we are having a discrete information source, that which is the starting block of digital communication system. So this source is right now emitting four symbols, S1, S2, S3, and S4. So right now this discrete information source is emitting four symbols, S1, S2, S3, and S4. And each of these symbols, or the set of all the four, can be thought of as source alphabet, that which is represented as with capital M. So what we can think over here is, we can think of capital M as source alphabet, that which is containing all these symbols. Now each of these symbols is associated with its own probability, and the probability values are S1 is associated with half probability, S2 is associated with 1 by 4, S3 with 1 by 8, as well as S4 by 1 by 8. So these are the probabilities that which these symbols are associated with. Now what we got to do is, we got to find information content of individual symbols. So here we got to make use of this formula I and find the information content of individual symbols. Let's say I of S1, in a similar way I of S2, I of S3, I of S4. So this is what we have to do. And along with that, finally, we got to also find average information content per symbol. So finally, we got to also find average information. So average information is got by adding all the four values, I of S1 plus I of S2 plus I of S3 plus I of S4. And because this is average, we got to divide it by, we got to whole divide this entire summation with 4. So that's how we can get the average information content per symbol. So this is what we'll do in order to find the individual information content of each symbol. So let's make use of our known formula. I can think of I as equal to log to the base 2 of 1 by p. So here you can ask, what's the value of p? Here what I can say is, here it's probability of symbol S1. And do I know the probability of symbol S1? Yes, I do know. So this S1 is associated with probability value half. So I'll make use of this value in this formula. So this is equal to log to the base 2 1 divided by, in the place of p of S1, I'll substitute half. So I'll have it as 1 by 2, and I can take out this 2 onto my numerator, because we know this mathematical formula. If I'm having this sort of equation, a divided by b by c, then I can rewrite this as a into c divided by b. So keeping this formula in our mind, so I'll have this as equal to log to the base 2 of 2, and one of the logarithmic indices says that if this is the case, log to the base a of a, then it's equal to 1. So keeping that in mind, this is as good as 1. And because here we have used base as equal to 2, its unit is 1 bit. And we got to repeat the same drill for information content of symbol 2. where symbol 2 is associated with probability P of S2. And do I know the value of P of S2? S, that which is equal to 1 by 4. So thereby I can rewrite this as 1 by 4, and I can make this 4 to jump to the numerator. Then I have it as equal to log to the base 2 of 4. So I can rewrite this 4 as 2 power 2. And again, one of the theory of logarithmic says that if I'm having this sort of condition, log to the base a of b to the power c, if this is the case, then I can bring this power onto the front. I can rewrite this as c into log to the base a of b. So keeping that in mind, I can make this 2 to jump onto the front, and I'll have 2 into log to the base 2 of 2, and we already know that this entire thing is equal to 1, so thereby it's 2 bits. And I got to repeat the same drill in order to find I of S3, and S3 is associated with probability 1 by 8. So by induction, I can clearly say that I'll have this as equal to, I can rewrite 8 as 2 power 3. So in fact, I'll have it as equal to 3 bits. And same is the case with I of S4, that which is again equal to 3 bits. So finally, right now we are done with finding information content of individual symbols. Now we got to find out average information content per symbol, that which can be got by substituting all the values of I of S1, I of S2, I of S3, and I of S4 in this formula. So I of S1 is 1 bit plus I of S2 is 2 bit plus I of S3 is 3 bit, I of S4 is again 3 bit. This entire thing is whole divided by 4 in order to find out the average information. Now what is this equal to? 1 plus 2 is 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. So it's 9 by 4. And what is 9 by 4? 2.25. 2.25. So what might be the unit? So this is bits per symbol. So right now we are done with finding how to find self-information of each symbols as well as average information content per symbol. So this average information content says that on an average we'll have 2.25 bits per symbol will be used. So in a similar way, you can also try it for one more problem wherein I am having 5 different symbols: S0, S1, S2, S3, S4. So right now I am having 5 different symbols, and each of them is associated with 1 by 2, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 16, and 1 by 16 probabilities. Now I want you to repeat the same procedure, and I want you to tell me what's the average information content per symbol. Only change here is we have got one more symbol. So on a whole, our source alphabet M contains 5 symbols in it. So I want you to tell me what's the average information content per symbol. And you're having exactly 2 minutes. I'll start online timer. So 2.8 is the right answer. Okay, right now we are done with our time. So the answer here is 2.8 bits per message. So this is the answer. So our next concept is the very starting block that which we had discussed, that is discrete information source. So this DIS emits 2 flavors of messages. The very first flavor being statistically independent messages. And one more being statistically dependent messages. So right now this discrete information source emits 2 flavors of messages. One is statistically independent kind of message, and the other one being statistically dependent kind of message. Now let's see what are statistically independent kind of messages. So statistically independent messages is one in which probability of occurrence of a symbol during a particular symbol interval doesn't depend upon the probability of emission of any other symbol. So here the probability of occurrence of a symbol, let's say Si, if it is not depending upon probability of occurrence of any other symbol, let's say Sj, then we can call such kind of discrete information source as statistically independent messages. And such kind of discrete information source which emits statistically independent sequences are also referred as memoryless sources. The other name or the synonym for this is memoryless kind of source, or they're also called as zero memory sources, or they are also called as zero memory sources. So they are called as memoryless because, by now, if I think of a human being, I hope we all have memory. I hope you all believe that we have memory, and because of this memory, whatever we talk, it actually depends upon some other words that which we have already spoken. So thereby, so something that which has memory in it, so dependency comes along with it. But whereas something that which is independent should not be associated with memory. So such is independent kind of messages. Whereas on the other hand, statistically dependent message sources is one where probability of occurrence of a symbol Si actually depends upon probability of occurrence of symbol Sj, and thereby a discrete information source emitting statistically dependent kind of messages are called as memory sources. Memory sources. And the case of memory source was first studied by Markov. So Markov was a Russian scientist, and he was the one who made this study of memory sources, and hence such kind of sources are also called as Markov sources. Memory sources are also known as Markov sources because Markov was the Russian scientist who first studied the behavior of memory sources. So right now we got to know that this discrete information source can emit two flavors of messages. One is statistically independent messages and the other one is statistically dependent messages.